Hi, brothers. Welcome. We're just going to give it another second, and we're going to let everybody get in, and we'll start here shortly. All right, everyone. I think we're ready to start. We might still have a few people trickle in and out as we get started, but I think for the most part, a lot of brothers are in here, and I don't want to waste anyone's time. And so, thank you all for coming and joining us for the first session, or the first episode, or the first track of the Summit series. A lot of you all may know that we normally do the summit in Lexington, Kentucky over about 3 days. But unfortunately, due to the global pandemic and COVID-19, we're not able to do that. So we transitioned this into the summit series, a virtual interactive collaborative session for recruitment chairmen, new member educators, cabinet members, graduate brothers, anyone who wants to be a part of this. My name is Jake Lueck. I currently work as the director of expansion for Phi Gamma Delta. And I'm very, very excited to be able to introduce Matt Farrell here in a little bit. But before I do that, I do want to talk a little bit more on the Summit Series is. And so with that, I want to put up a couple dates, a couple more points to what this is going to be. So some save the dates here. What we've got are small groups. So this is a big group session. It's a webinar. Matt Farrell is going to be speaking, who once again I'll introduce in a second. We're going to have big group speakers and other outside members of Phi Gamma Delta come in and talk to you all every month. But also every few weeks, we're going to have small groups to be able to dissect those big group talking points. We're going to be able to answer more questions. And so as you can see here, there's going to be a new member education track as well as a recruitment track. So for those new member educators out there, obviously you'll be a part of that track with Lauren Leaf, who you'll get to meet throughout this series. And then for recruitment chairman, you'll either be with me or Brian Hartzell, our director of chapter services. And we'll be talking about those specific topics on those dates. So I encourage you right now to take a screenshot of these and really talk about which ones. We definitely encourage you to be at every single one of these. Our goal throughout the series is to create a working plan for you all as new member educators and as recruitment chairman, so that you're still getting the type of support that we have to give now virtually, unfortunately. But we're still working through this. We're getting stronger as a brotherhood. And so with that, I do want to introduce Matt Farrell as he's speaking, and before he really starts talking, I want to just show you all, or at least talk about some of the features that we have in this chat. Or in this Zoom webinar. So you can use the Q&A feature if you'd like to ask a question. I see that some people have already been asking questions, so that's great. And we'll be answering those questions at the end of the session. These dates, just since this question is up and I just looked at it, they will always be from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. And they're normally be on Thursdays. So as you can see, a lot of these are on Thursdays, but you can use the Q&A feature. We'll get to those at the end once Matt Farrell stops talking, and he'll be able to answer those questions. You can also use the chat feature just to talk amongst each other. And then you can also raise your hand if you have a question for any reason. But once again, please let Matt just get through what he's saying. He's going to talk for about 30 minutes, and then there'll be 20 minutes or so to really ask those questions, get everything answered that you would want or you'd need. So with that, once again, I'm going to take it away. I'll have Matt take it away, introduce himself, and spread some of his knowledge for us.
Thank you, brother Jake. And I need to get a hold of some of those clippers. I have no idea how you're doing it during quarantine. I think you're going to get some questions about that afterwards. Pretty jealous. What's up, everybody? Matt Farrell, proud brother of Phi Gamma Delta from our Yukon chapter. And I know that everybody here has got a guy. I know that every single one of you has one person you can think of who's the reason that you got roped into this thing called Phi Gamma Delta. I know a lot of us didn't expect to be a part of a fraternity in college. Go ahead, use one of those little features Jake was talking about. Show some love, show some hands, thumbs up if you just didn't expect to be here, didn't expect to be in a fraternity. For me, my guy's named Brian. He was just a kid on my floor that left his door open playing FIFA, thought that that would start a conversation. He's the reason I'm here. And when we think back to what we all have in common, sure, we're all brothers, but another big thing we forget about that we have in common is we all were not brothers coming into college, not so very long ago. There were a lot of things that were new, trying to get that new beginning, that feeling of brotherhood like we had on a sports team in high school. And I think we tend to forget about that because of this great thing that we all have now. It's because of that guy that you're here. Go ahead, drop his name in the chat. I would love to just see the names of some of these guys who are the reasons that you're here, that you're a member of Phi Gamma Delta. I'm going to throw mine in here. We all got a guy. So cool. Pooch. Pooch sounds like a guy who can recruit. My goodness. Look at this. So cool. We got Justice, Nick Jones, Anthony Mendez, Luke Neverman. Hey, I know that guy. Gotta be careful. Zach, Jordan, John, Alex. Let's go. So cool. Hey, if you got a second, if you have already sent yours in, you should shoot that guy a text. Just say, thanks for being my guy. You can explain it later. He should know that. Such a cool feeling. We got Trey Hall, Lucas Adams, Jake Lueck. Look at that. I think somebody just wants a haircut. It's a good strategy. Bennett Finger, Tom Adams, Dusty Taggart. You think that guy's in a fraternity? That's awesome. So cool. Text him if you haven't already. Text him. Aaron, Ben Lipinski, Smooch. Smooch, what a guy. Awesome. So cool. The goal of recruitment is to be that guy for somebody else. You think about all the amazing memories in your life because of that guy. All right, pretty much everything great has happened since. How do I know? You're on a random webinar with a couple random guys at 6 p.m. That guy did something for you. And so really all that starts with is just thinking about that feeling we had coming into school where we just wanted some more friends, right? We wanted some more friends, and it can be very difficult coming in. Again, we tend not to think about life before Fiji, life before fraternity, but we wanted a friend, and most of us relied on somebody else to make a move. You know, when I see Caden Underwood in here, and I see Ryan, and I see Lucas, I mean, chances are that guy took interest. He stuck his hand out. He shot you a text. He DM'd you on Instagram, whatever it may be. He made a move, and all these great things have happened since then. And so I want to take our time, our next 20 minutes, to give you all some practical tips for how we can better be that guy, because the world has never needed that guy more than right now. The world has never needed more Matt McLaughlins. It's never needed more Lucas Adams, right? More Langdon McDonalds, Jordan Archers. We need these guys because we're celebrating 172 years today. And to keep this thing going, you think about that guy had a guy who had a guy. We can say that 10, 20 times. And he had John McCarty, right? He had Ellis. He had Sammy Wilson. And that guy kept replicating over time. And now it's your turn. And And I think that's pretty damn cool. So there's 3 things we're going to knock out so you're in position to be that guy. And Jake's going to show us those 3 things. Number 1, I want to be your friend. And we're starting there, first of all, because it's true. I'm your brother. I want to be your friend. I'm excited to meet you guys and to get to know you a little bit more. You might be thinking, how the heck is that possible? We got 60 some odd people all across the country on a random Zoom call for 30 minutes. For now, just know, I want to be your friend. We'll get there. But it's not just me. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of high school seniors especially. I mean, we've all heard about how they're not getting prom and they're not getting graduation. And we know that, and that storyline's been played. But we also know they were getting ready to move on to college before this. They were wondering about the future. And that's the number one thing that people are nervous about. When we think back to before we joined, they want friends. They want to be your friend, and they don't know you. Thousands of people walking around our campus who are already students who just suddenly got everything ripped away, and you still got class. You're still doing most of the things that you technically pay for at school, but that friendship piece for those not in fraternities has been ripped away. So when I say I want to be your friend, I'm talking about me, but I'm also talking about thousands of people on your campus who you don't know yet, who want to be your friend. And we're going to build a strategy to become their friend. That's where all the magic happens after that. Number 3, come and take it. We'll get there. Just know that that's where everything's going to wrap up. So for starters, let's talk about I want to be your friend. Oh yeah, there's that formula. That sounds boring, but probably the most actionable thing. I had to give him some learning objective, so we'll knock that out too. I want to be your friend. My name's Matt. We're gonna go back. Well, we could start. We can stay here. This is my. We can go back to that screenshot, Jake. Jake's playing Vanna White for me. Any Wheel of Fortune fans? He's doing all the deeds for me here. This is my friend Duke. I was thinking about virtual recruitment because we're all in this. The elephant in the room here is these steps we're talking about. We can't just do by sticking out our hand. I used to say that handshakes change the world. It's a big line at my company. It's still true. It just changes the world in a little different way, at least for these next few months. So we can't shake hands. We can't dab people up at the gym. We can't do a lot of things we're used to. We can text. We can Facebook message. That was always true. That's not just true with fraternity. This is me sending Duke Murphy. A lot of you know Duke Murphy. Give Duke a shout out in the chat if you know Duke. You can give him a D-O-O-K if you want. You can give him a Mook Durfee, whatever it is. Duke has been this guy for a lot of people. I dug up, as you all can see, this is September 2013, and Duke wanted to be my friend. That changed my life. All right, Duke responding to this message. I'm a huge pics or it didn't happen guy, so I had to scroll back in our Facebook chat history, which is shorter than I would like it to be, probably longer than Duke would like it to be. And those who know Duke know what I'm talking about. Dug this one up, very first message. Duke sent this September 27th, my senior year of college. He said my name, he gave me his number, and he encouraged me to reach out. And that's something that changed my life, and these texts that we talk about do that. It's not just for fraternity. It's for jobs, it's for future opportunities, and it's amazing. But like I said, I want to be your friend, and I want to get to know you. That's going to be a heck of a lot easier when I introduce step 2. So what I'm going to do here is paste a really, really ugly looking link into the chat. Super ugly. I want everyone to click on it. It's so ugly you can't miss it. This is your blueprint. So when we're talking about being that guy for people, my work came up with, I think, one of the coolest how-to resources. I know so many of you guys are just like, okay, get it, leadership, fraternity. I just want to know, like, what's the script? Here's a script. What to say, how to make that opening line when we meet somebody new. I want to bring your attention to page 2. You're going to see the bold 1, 2, 3. Quick opener. Be friendly, be honest, say your name. Some of you get to be that guy from your Fiji Instagram account, which is kind of cool. It's less weird when people say something back mean. It's less personal, whatever. It's all part of the game. But what's so great about this is all you have to do is be friendly, be honest, say their name, say yours. As you saw with Duke, that still brings a smile. You all were smiling, typing that person's name when you sent it into chat. So just really quick, really simple. That middle, this is the biggest area that I screwed up as a recruiter at UConn, and where I see fraternity men across the country just get in their own head a little bit. We don't want to make it about us, right? They don't care. We just want to make it about them, what they might want, how we got their name, fewest words possible. It could be a couple sentences. It could be a phrase. We just want to let them know, make it about them. That's going to start the conversation. And then finally, some sort of follow-up, right? Something that's going to make you want to say, what's next? Jake, you've seen this. You coach recruitment. I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. Give me some pet peeves, Jake. When you see the end of a recruitment text or a DM, what are some Dikembe Mutombo no-nos?
Oh, Matt, you're putting me on the spot when I was trying to get that link up for you.
Oh, man. Give me a quick one. I'll clean up for you.
So some pet peeves, what did you say?
Yeah, just for when people are recruiting. I mean, you see it in Chapter Builder, right? When guys are on expansion, what are some things that kill the conversation right there?
Man, anything that kills the conversation. Somebody not reciprocating the conversation, somebody not talking back, somebody just saying K. Let's see.
What about our guys? Where do our guys kind of shoot themselves in the foot when it comes to a first text that we send out?
Yeah, we're not putting the ball in their court. So if we're sending them a text message, we're not actually giving them anything to talk about, or we're not we're not telling them what they should be doing. We need to make sure that if we're texting someone, we're texting a potential new member, we're saying, when can you meet? Can you meet me now? Like what we're giving them a time to meet. We're not just saying, and if you'd like to meet, then you can. We will be here for however many weeks during recruitment. We need to make sure that we're actually putting the ball in their court and saying, like, these are our times. This is when we're meeting. We want to meet you at 6:00 at blank place or whatever it is. And so I think that's something that a lot of recruiters lack in doing. So
awesome. Thanks, Jake. And I appreciate you pulling that up for me. People who know me know I'm gonna put people on the spot. But that link, y'all have it called up. It's right in the chat. If you haven't already opened it, please, we're going right off page 2. I think this is the most important thing y'all can have in your back pocket for the next couple of months, because the recruitment game and the friendship game is going to be won or lost when it comes to just these quick how to do this virtually. And as Jake mentioned, I think we shoot ourselves in the foot when we say vague things like, let me know if, or just checking in. You're not just reaching out, you're reaching out. You are a damn brother of Phi Gamma Delta, and you know the experience it's had on your own life. We're not just reaching out. We are reaching out, and we're ending it with a simple request that keeps the conversation going. As Jake mentioned, you're giving them that window of time. When are you free next week? What's a good time to link up? Right? We've already gassed them up a little bit. We've shown them that we're excited to get to know them. And y'all, this isn't desperate. This is not something to worry about with the sense of what's going to happen if they don't respond. We love this fraternity. We know the impact it's had on us, and we're just making a move. That's all we're doing. Strong moves. Adel Dittmer, Adel might be on here. Make moves or grow roots. All right, we're not sitting here to grow roots. We got time, and this is how some amazing conversations start. So we're going to try this thing. That's how this is fun. I put that up here. Right, we got that simple opener. You say your name, you say their name. You put some meat in the middle, you make it about them, and then you ask a question. Just something to keep the conversation going. We are not trying to recruit people into Phi Gamma Delta right now, because that guy couldn't do it for you until he became your friend, right? Ben could not recruit Alex to Phi Gamma Delta until he became his friend. Dusty Taggart, he couldn't recruit Joel until he became his friend. You guys get it? So I want to try this thing. I'm dropping my personal cell phone number into this chat. Famous last words. I trust you guys. I said before, I want to be your friend, just like all these people do. I want you to send me a text right now. I want you to think about it for a second. Don't just type something in and send it, right? Think about that formula. Think about your name, my name, your opener. Think about confidence, right? What's something that you're excited about having a conversation? I got some clues. That's a Ray Allen jersey. Huge basketball fan. I'm your brother. We could talk Fiji all day. We could talk sports. I'm from a small town in Connecticut. If you've never been to the Northeast, you want to know what the heck is Connecticut? How do you spell it? You don't have to spell it. CT, that does the job. And then that actionable ending. I want to know a good question. It's going to make me think. It's going to make me start a conversation. I want to be your friend. Make my life easier. Oh, Hunter Wish. I got to read this one. Because you guys know Hunter Wish, the legend. I want to pick your brain as to what makes you tick. All caps. What fuels you? What gets you energized? Gosh. Makes me want to reroute and let you take the other learning objectives on your own. Goodness. Wish a God among men. Ian Kilpatrick knows what's good. I want to get 75 texts. Take your time. If you need that formula. Armin, I in the shirt, the Nike shirt. Let's go. Varsity, baby. We're going to talk some sneakers. I'm going to hit you up. Alex. Ben appreciates that you call him Smooch. Lipinski, it's the Lips. It's a great nickname. Fraternities, we make nicknames better than anybody. Hey, Matt, do you think Chris Daughtry is our modern day Elvis Presley? I don't even need to say that name. That's Doc Brock walking Bach, checking in. Keep them coming, guys. Did Ray Allen save LeBron's career in Miami? People forget LeBron bricked that three really badly before Chris Bosh gets that rebound in the corner. I wish I knew. Oh, we got the name here. Nolan recovering. I was about to make fun of him for not saying his name. If y'all haven't texted me yet, that's cool. You're doing your homework. You're thinking about something good. This is not something that we have to rush. It's something we have to do. There are so many people out there that give you less clues than I just gave, where you can still start a conversation, right? We are the social leaders. Every single person on this call was given a selective opportunity because you're more social than the average guy. And like Jake mentioned, the ball is in our court. We're the varsity team, right? We've already done it. More questions coming in. Anthony asking me about my alma mater. That's how you get me buzzing. Talk about UConn. Chapter Brothers, the whole 9 yards. Thanks, Anthony. I'll hit you back this weekend. Another reason why I'm doing this, guys, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have done this on March 9th or before. And this is something to keep in mind. We all got time on our hands. The biggest frustration for those of you who have recruited before is people ghosting you, people saying they're too busy. It is the month of May. It's a Friday evening, and we're here. I'm having fun, but we're also here because most other stuff we could be doing is canceled. And that's going to be the case at least a little while longer. This is our chance to pounce. All right, I'm going to hit you all back and try to ask just as good of a question as you asked me to become your friend. Not because I'm a nice guy, but because I got some time on my hands. And think about the thousands of students, again, that are in that same position. Let me read a few more. Stephen Payton repping Gamma Kappa. That's kind of an invite out to Colorado. He's asking me if I've been out there. That's cool. Interesting. Ethan from Seton Hall, our newest colony. Love it, Ethan. Thanks for the love. Ethan's got the formula. I'm telling you guys, the best thing you can do for your recruitment budget. If you're going to write one thing down, best thing you can do for your recruitment budget, compliments. Give them away. They are free. And even when people know what you're doing, they like it. It's a weird phenomenon. I mean, I'm sure you all you had someone random say something nice to you. Your first reaction is like, who are you? And your second is like, oh, thanks. And suddenly you're in a conversation. All right, give those compliments away. Ethan's gassing me up about the jersey. I'm wondering, what I'm confused here is he went to Seton Hall. We're about to be rivals again, Ethan, so you could be nice, but we're gonna come down to the Pru and give you guys a hard time in a few months. So we'll be friends for now. Oh man, Julian's asking me about the heat in my sneaker rotation down in Chapel Hill. Doyle Smith, IFC recruitment chair. We should chat. That's the day job. We'll talk some shop, Doyle. Doyle's question actually is worth answering for everybody. You know, he's talking about universities putting intense restrictions on recruitment in the fall. I can tell y'all, we're recommending the opposite. We want to bring down barriers. But the best part about what we're doing right now is nobody can stop us from making friends. Relationships are our currency. That's what wins the recruitment game. There is no restriction on the planet. Trust me, we would have heard of it. There is no restriction on the planet that is stopping us from being able to make some friends and have some conversations. Which leads me to point 3, and I don't even got to say it. Jake, say it for me. Number 3.
Sorry, I had to figure out how to unmute myself, but come and take it. Let's go. Big UTSA, Texas fan over here.
Where are my Texans? Check in in chat. If there's anyone
Texans
here. They know what this means. We got our Texas logo right here. This is the Alamo. This is the Texas motto. The only state to be its own country. And this is something I know it's personal for Jake. It's personal for me because this is our opportunity. Aaron, this is the founding of your chapter, man. If you haven't talked to Jake about come and take it in UTSA Fiji, Aaron, make sure you hit him up. He's got the flag, the signed flag. But come and take it. That's our opportunity. We have thousands of people who want to be our friend. There is a formula. Most of your competition doesn't know it, or they're afraid to execute it. Y'all both showed me in 5 minutes that you're willing to do it. Everybody who just sent me a text, congrats. You've proven your ability to come and take it. If you haven't, here's another chance. Come and take it. And that's what's going to separate Phi Gamma Delta from every other fraternity these next couple of weeks. All right, we're entering a pivotal month, a pivotal summer. But what we know is people are seeking connection more than ever. What we know is that guy, that first guy we typed in the chat, changed our life. And now what I hope we know is we can do this for somebody else. And I want to show y'all just an amazing example of what this can look like practically, because what we haven't talked about is the wall. Brock threw in the chat. He's ready to run through a brick wall. I love that about Brock. But what Brock knows is sometimes you run through a brick wall and physics checks out and you get smacked. And that happened to me, my last recruitment project, every recruitment project. Every time I've recruited for this fraternity, every time Jake's recruited, we hit that brick wall. This is what it looks like. Right, that screenshot right after Duke's, Jake, my Vanna White here. This is what it looks like. Actual text. I dug this out this morning. For those that are not familiar with Chapter Builder, that's what this thing is. Chapterbuilder.com, totally free. This is how you systemize, archive your experience. Let me show you this. Hey, Sean, Matt from Fiji. Following up to see when you may be free to meet today or tomorrow. I call that a Hall of Fame formula. I got his name. I got my name. Quick middle. Actionable ending. Did my job, right? Brick wall. Hey, Matt, just started a new job this past week. With that and my commitment to school, I don't know if I'll have time to join a fraternity. I think it will be too much. Give me a yup in the chat if you've seen that, a similar message to that before. Give me a yup. I love the yuh. Yeah, brick walls, brick walls. Let's call it what it is. We're gonna see these happen to everybody. Yup times 3, it sucks. It's not a finish line. Pardon my typo here, but I hit him back. And this is come and take it just as much as that first text, right? I'm rereading this text again. I hadn't seen this text in 2.5 years since I opened up my 172, just like you all, and I was just feeling Fiji. I was like, I gotta just do Fiji stuff this morning, screw everything else. I found this, and Sean didn't even tell me no. And the way I see it is just by responding, even if he straight up responded and said no, that's still a response. I want to know why. Yeah, Tom, my parents don't want me to join. They're worried about my grades. We've heard it all. We got resources for that. You guys got my number, so I promise I will send you some of those resources and make sure we're ready for it. But this is the big thing. We're getting on the phone. We're meeting up. Obviously, I had the luxury of being able to meet Sean, as you can see. But this is the form. This isn't me telling you. This is me showing you. All right, this is the text. I'll tell you, Sean showed up to that meeting. Sleeveless shirt, sunglasses on, full a-hole mode. Full a-hole mode. I mean, he relished the fact that he could just whine about fraternities. I mean, post some other frustrating things you've heard from guys. Tom put one. My parents don't want me to join. They're worried about my grades. I want to see a few more that y'all have heard. There's that one. Hunter Wish. Bid dialed in. Too much money. They're worried about grades. I don't think I have the time. Accept their bid. I don't drink. They haze another friend. Guys, all those reasons, frat boys just want to party. All those reasons were factors for Sean. If y'all read this, I look back, this isn't even a perfect text. This is okay. The most important thing is we send it. Right? The most important thing is we try, and we don't take some vague no for an answer. Armin's having some fun. I love that. Keep doing you, man. I love it. I hope it's not real. I take that back. If if Armin's not just having a good time, yeah, my girlfriend's against Greek life. I'm probably going Pike. Hey, we're selective, right? So I gave him a window. Yeah, I'm not really the frat type, but it comes back to that same formula, guys. You know what I sent you. Simple middle. iPod has great things to say about you. Believe it or not, iPod is a human being. That was his nickname. Like we said before, fraternities have weird nicknames. I'm gassing Sean up here. Not too much. It's not desperate. This is just recruitment. And then that close. Let me know when tomorrow or Friday could work. or early next week if that's better. That's honestly not even a great text, but I did give him a window. If I could change that up, I would end it with a question. I wouldn't say, let me know. I would say, what's a good time? As Jake said, ball in his court. This is not about tricking Sean into something. This is about showing Sean, I care about you, and I care about my experience. I want everyone to walk out of this call being reminded why you love this fraternity so much and why it is worth your time to meet with people who don't get it yet. We got to show them. And I think the best thing we can give is our time, because we have it. We have time. This would be a phone call today. This hopefully a video. 20 minutes. Pour some love on him. You know what we did? We talked basketball. We talked life. We made eye contact. Social excellence. That's the title of this. I should probably say it at some point. But it's all stuff we do with our brothers. We do with our friends. We just got to do it with everyone, with strangers. Sean's sunglasses came off about 10 minutes in. Hunter, you know what I'm talking about. You know where this is going. Jake knows where this is going. It's over. Next photo. This was like a week later. Those sunglasses came off. I want us to welcome those challenges, right? That's where we bring out our best, those brick walls. It's fun. It is a game. We're not going to win every time, but we should relish that challenge, because this is the best part about this experience. This is not where it ended for Sean. This is not where we said, oh, great work. This might have been where my part in Sean's journey came to a close, but this is where Pledge Education, building Sean up, connecting him with others, the staff, the development team, his brothers. This is where everybody got to step in and be a part of Sean's story. This was not victory. What's victory came 2 years later, this November. I hadn't heard from Sean in a while. We had caught up a few times, played some basketball, stayed in touch. I knew he had some job. I knew he graduated. We obviously didn't have much to talk about with the fraternity anymore. Check out this text from Sean that I got in November. I'm not going to ask you guys to read the whole thing. I have it here because I'm a pics or it didn't happen kind of guy. I'm not going to tell you about some text. I'm going to show you. Just look at the words. Just look at how many words, the emotion in this thing. I'm going to give you the Spark Notes, and if you don't trust me, go ahead and read it yourself. Life update. Sean's got a career. He's working for a medical imaging company, doing what we all came to college to do, to get a job that he's passionate about. He's doing important stuff, right? The Mayo Clinic. This is altering lives. This is helping people. He's doing fun stuff. He's in MSG watching the game. Maybe watching Seton Hall lose to St. John's. Who knows? Ethan, I'm playing. We might as well get used to it. He's at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. I know we got a Kent State crew on here. Shout out. He's in DC taking in the sights. Fiji helped me get the job in the first place. Jake, if you could highlight that in the middle one. Fiji helped me get the job in the first place, right in that middle text. The people he interviewed with, the direct boss, the CEO, they wanted that leadership experience. They believed in what we had to offer. And that last part, I mean, that's that feeling that your buddy that you just shot a text to, that you wrote in there. That's why we play the game, guys, right? We got to play a small role that opened up everything else, right? This isn't about me recruiting Sean. This is about the fraternity stepping in and reminding us all why it matters, why it's relevant. He's using those skills. And so the best part about that initial brick wall that we hit is we know there are so many stories out there like this. And I just think something else that's really cool. Jake, go back to that very first screenshot if you can, the Duke one, that very first one. The only reason that I even had that opportunity to step in is Duke going out there, come and take it, saying my name, giving me his number, starting a conversation. I don't even think Duke has met Sean. They are completely different pieces of my life, They're both brothers. Your guy did it for you. The guy you first typed in chat here, he got to be Duke. And now you get to be that middle piece. That's going to change the lives of so many people. So thanks, y'all. This has been awesome to show you my story. I can't wait to text everybody back. I want to give time for questions. So I'm going to kick it back over to Jake. We can take some questions.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, listening to Matt. We'll do the Q&A now. So right below on the bottom of your screen, you'll see the Q&A feature. What you can do is you can just type in your question there. I know we've already got a few coming in, but start typing your questions. I'll give it a second to let some questions come in, and then in 1 second, I'll be able to hand it over to Matt, and we'll get those questions answered for you. All right, we got some questions coming in. Matt, I'll give you the first one here. So Casey Martin says he just, I guess, wants some advice on reaching out to people when no one knows who you are.
Yeah. Good one, Casey. I know a lot of people are feeling that. I don't mean this personally. This is going to help you. It's not about you, Casey. It's not about us. We think it is because we live our life in our own skin, but we can remove that. And I hope that takes some pressure off you, Casey. I hope that takes pressure off everybody here. It's not about us. He's thinking about his life, how he can make more friends, how he can matter, get a job, get better grades. One of those things, maybe all those things, right? Think back to Sean. I mean, he was at U of A in the first place to get that job, to travel, to matter. So Casey, that's what he's thinking about. Don't worry if he doesn't know who you are. And don't worry either about doing a little research. We all stalk people on Instagram. Like, it's just a part of life. It's really hard to avoid. And maybe we don't want to reference a photo from 5 months ago buried on the timeline. But that most recent picture, I mean, come on. If y'all are looking for a practical way to meet new people, hashtag class of 2024, your school. Start digging in. I'll tell you what they're thinking about. Am I going to come to college? Is it going to be in person? How am I going to make friends? How is it going to be worth it? They're just looking for a friend. I wouldn't overthink it. All right, use that formula, Casey. Hit them up and find a time to talk. It's where I've screwed up doing this is getting caught in text back and forth land, and that can get weird. It can dead end. And so I would, from the beginning, just say, hey, I'm looking to meet up and coming leaders on campus. I'm looking to help people get plugged in. When's a good time to chat this week? I hope that helps, Casey. If you have a follow-up question, drop it in, and I'll try to resolve that for you.
Yeah, so for the next question, so we do have one other person on the line here in the Phi Gamma Delta box. I'm going to kind of move this question over to him, but the question is, has Nationals decided whether or not our 2020 spring pledges will have to start over or pick up where they left off?
Hey, Ian, thanks for asking that. I was trying to stay in the background, but Jake pulled me up on the spot. So we're encouraging to continue new member education wherever possible via Zoom or virtual experience to get it done this spring, and that the chapter could then initiate whenever is reasonable. The campus allows like gatherings of larger groups again, and so being in compliance with whatever is happening at the state and local level. We don't want you to not comply with state guidelines or university guidelines, but if we're doing new member education virtually, that means in the fall, they can be initiated right away and be brothers and get things moving. So, and we believe that will really help with retention of the new members. So thanks, Jake. And I'm going to go back into hiding unless there's other questions I need to do later.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, Matt, we've got another question here too. We'll probably just do one or two more depending on time, but for a lot of us here on this call, we don't really have a plan yet for recruitment. And so when it comes to recruitment, I guess, where do you, I know you walked us through those steps, those 3 steps, but I guess where do we start with a plan, and where do we start rounding the team out? Like our recruitment team, I think is what the question is asking. So like, how do we pick those brothers that are going to help us and kind of go from there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. I think let's start by separating a key thing. We don't have a plan for bids. We do have a plan for recruitment. It's outreach and it's conversations. Everybody on this call knows that when you have friends, when you have people who you trust and they trust you, the rest kind of takes care of itself. I'm sure a lot of you just one day, you were kind of like, what the heck is this fancy piece of paper that's making me sign something? And you did it because you trusted the guys. You knew them, you knew they cared about you, and you knew it meant something. So we might not have a plan for bids, but we do have a plan for recruitment. And that is that 3-step process, right? We know people want friends. We got a formula, and we're going to come and take it. In terms of rounding out the team, I totally get that piece. We have a saying at PhiredUp. We like to say, gather your horses and get to work. Y'all got horses. Everybody on this call is a horse. You got horsepower. You're here. Again, 6 o'clock on a Friday. There's a few more guys like you. If someone else from your chapter's on here, they're a horse. I think 3 to 5 guys at that point, you know they're committed to recruitment. We shouldn't be spending the rest of our energy cracking the whip at mules or making incentives for mules because that's a waste of our time. And honestly, for those guys, some people in our chapter are content with the friends they have. And I think we should always be pushing people and reminding them like what new friends can do for you, for your opportunities, your ability to get promoted. I know so many people who have said no to me in recruitment have still become friends. And that makes for, I would argue, just a better life where you have more fun stuff to do and people to do it with. So motivate people to make friends. I think once you have that team, there's some amazing resource. I would start with the guy to my right here. I know Jake has a ton of experience. He's got that recruitment resources page on the website. There's a recruitment Facebook group where you can connect with other people. Definitely start with staff, your advisor. PhiredUp, our organization, we're blasting out a ton of blogs, a ton of resources, all the content you could possibly need. Tom just plugged it for me, throwing it in there. But it starts with gathering your horses, finding 3 guys, 5 guys, and finding people to be your friend. I think you have to think about pipelines. So where are people that I can get the contact information for? I would start with Instagram. I would ask your alum. I would blast out forums. Again, chapter builder, free forms. You can funnel them right to your names list, but it doesn't matter what tool you use. What really matters is that you are looking at all the possible ways to grow a list. And if you don't have a list that all your horses can see in one spot, that's an important piece too. If you just randomly DM people, you're going to lose track. Other questions?
So I think for right now, I think I'm going to go back to our page with the save the dates on it. Oh, not that one. Let's see here. All right. So that's really the end. I mean, we're kind of coming to time, and I want to give you all a little break before the pig dinner starts, which is coming up right after this. We encourage you all to be there. I want to say thank you all for being here for this first edition of the Summit Series. We're going to have more great speakers like Matt Farrell coming in the next few months. But once again, I want to highlight these coming up dates that are on this calendar. So once again, all participants' dates are at the top with the new member education track and recruitment track specific dates as well. They'll be hosted by, once again, great people like Matt Farrell, as well as myself, Lauren Leaf, and some other fantastic directors on our staff. So we're very excited. I also dropped, Matt Farrell dropped the Phi Gamma Delta recruitment Facebook page. Please follow that. Please join that group because we can all talk and collaborate and you can stay up to date on events. The name is foolproof. It is Phi Gamma Delta Recruitment. That is the page. But with that, I'll let you all get back to your to the scheduled stuff. I will say we're really happy and proud to have over 70 brothers on this call, and we just want to keep building. So if you know somebody who wasn't on this call, please get them to join this. Come to the small group so we can continue to talk and have conversations and really be able to have more of a face-to-face interaction, even though we're all in quarantine. So brothers, once again, I'm very grateful for you all coming and participating with us and hearing out and hopefully gaining some knowledge from Matt. But with that, we'll end this. Thank you all so much, and mighty proud to be a Fiji.
Damn proud, brothers. Thank you. This is fun. I'll text you all back. I promise. Jake, you did well on the spot. You had to know that was coming, right? Deep down.